You've heard it before. Do not wait until you're perfect. I've heard it a million times before as well, and but I do believe that sometimes we have to make our own experience and we have to make our own mistakes in order to really internalize a lesson and or like a learning. If you're following this channel, you might know that over the course of the last 3 to 4 months, I was working on my little business, trying to launch my first product, planning everything and researching everything. But the truth is, I wasn't doing this for the last 4 months, if you might think that. I decided for myself to launch this product even before I started this YouTube channel. So for 9 months, I was planning, optimizing, learning, trying to become better, trying to save more money in order to be perfect and to make no mistakes. And 9 months later, I have achieved absolutely nothing. I still haven't launched this product, and yes, I'm still broke. And this learning and realization that I want to share with you today really hit me after I read a little story out of the book Atomic Habits. Oh, and by the way, I really recommend this book, Atomic Habits. You can get it by just go onto Amazon and search for Atomic Habits, and then you will see it. So the funny thing is, if you think about it, I tried to do everything perfectly in order to get the best results possible, but I hesitated so much that I got no results at all. And then I had I observed feelings of anger, and I was angry about myself. I had thoughts like, where could I have been if I launched this product maybe 5 months from now? How established would this product have been by now? How much money would I have made? How much would I have learned about importing a product, launching a product, doing the marketing process, etc.? Where could I have been, and what type of person could I have been by now? Just from all these learnings. And even if the product would have failed, how much further would I have been? How much would I have learned about what product not to choose? What mistakes not to make? So yeah, and then I had this realization, and I wrote some little words down for you, as I sometimes do for you. And yes, here they are. I can only learn by making mistakes. I will have to make these mistakes one way or the other. I will fail inevitably. This is important. This means the fastest way to get progress is to start immediately and to accept that failure is part of the way. Planning everything to be perfect will ruin your results. In fact, it will hinder you from becoming perfect. Starting immediately and taking action is the one thing that allows you to get enough experience to become great at some point. The fastest way to get results at anything is accepting horrible results at the beginning. So yeah, I realized this, and I was so angry because it was a huge mistake that I waited for perfection. And of course, yes, it was my ego, and my ego blinded me, etc. But still, I lost a lot of money, I lost a lot of time. That's why I decided to give myself a strict deadline. I decided to launch this product, or to at least not launch, but order the product at the end of this month, at the end of September. And yes, if my ego won't find another way to manipulate me, yes, then I will do it. And at this point, after I lost so much time, I'm also at a point where I kind of don't care about losing that money. This would probably cost me over 10,000 euros. And I'm at a point where I almost don't care about it anymore. Because this is also, I will maybe talk about it in another video, but for me, I don't want money in my bank account. In my bank account, it doesn't do anything. I want it in my business. I'd rather lose the money and make good experiences and learn than just leave the money in the bank account and let it lose its value because of inflation. Because I wouldn't spend it on a car anyway. I would only spend it on my business. So yeah, why not lose it? I'm not sure whether you can relate with these thoughts, but that's how I'm thinking. But yes, here's also the story from the book Atomic Habits. Again, get the book. I recommend it. The story was at the University of Florida. There was a professor who divided his photography students into 2 groups. There was a quality group and there was a quantity group. And the difference was that the students would be judged or graded differently. The quantity group was only graded on the amount of work that they produced, and the quality group was graded on the quality of one picture. And after the semester was over, the professor was surprised that all the pictures with the best quality were only created by the quantity group. Not a single picture was created by the quality group. I think it's interesting because we can learn a lot for ourselves from this story. And I also want to read a quote from this book for you. In the book it says, "These students, the quality group, were busy taking photos, experimenting with the composition and lighting, testing out various methods in the darkroom, and learning from their mistakes. In the process of creating hundreds of photos, they honored their skill on it or something like that. I have to look up the word. In the process of creating hundreds of photos, they owned their skills. Meanwhile, the quality group was sat around speculating about perfection. Yeah, I wanted to share this story because it really made something click for me. And another thing it's also talked about in the book, by the way, is the following. There is a difference between sharpening a skill and executing a skill. And our ego blinds us to gives us the impression that sharpening our skills is as productive as executing our skills. And even though like sharpening our skills has its place, it will never bring any results. Executing our skills will. I also realized for myself that executing our skills, like with our current skill level, will always trump sharpening our skills, no matter how bad we are currently. For example, practicing, like if you are in sales, practicing objection handling has its place, but it will never make you any sales if you keep role-playing. Or a gym example, if we keep watching gym videos or fitness YouTubers, how we can hit our muscles perfectly, this is a great bonus, but after a year of watching those videos, we will still look like a stick. We will still have no muscles. So if you have a goal, like whatever it might be, I want you to ask yourself, in the last 6 months, was I executing on my current skill level, or was I simply sharpening my skills? Which of these two activities absorbed most of my time? So yeah, as I told you, I am guilty of mainly sharpening my skills. But on the other hand, with my YouTube channel, as an example, yes, you might know I'm not a perfect YouTuber and my videos aren't perfect. The background isn't perfect. The lighting isn't perfect. But what I think I did right is I told myself, okay, my first videos will suck anyway, and they won't get any views anyway. So what's the point of not starting? So what's the point of hesitating and not getting the reference experiences in? So yeah, I just started shooting the first video, and my plan was, and still is, to become better over time, and maybe like also upgrade my equipment over time if there will be money for it. So yeah, and my last point is that perfection is just a form of procrastination. And if you've watched my video on procrastination, you know that procrastination is just a denial of an experienced pain and an unwillingness to accept or to face our own fears. We want to read another book about sales theory, and we want to roleplay a little bit more before we have our first actual sales call, because we're too afraid of getting rejected by the prospect, and are afraid of the emotional shame if we don't know what to say anymore and not being able to handle the objection. Because yes, if you are into sales, you probably know that this doesn't feel that pleasant. I wanted to bring the perfect product onto the market and find it for even a lower price and try to optimize the import and to learn even more, instead of finally bringing the product onto the market or in the market and thereby creating some value for the marketplace. I was too afraid to fail and to lose my self-image as the great entrepreneur that I want to be. By the way, I don't consider myself like an entrepreneur, but I definitely want to become one. And yeah, subconsciously I feared failing with this product means that I'm not a great entrepreneur. So these were the fears why I procrastinated. Yeah, I simply used perfection as the excuse. So yes, if you've caught yourself that you have a goal and you just sharpened your skills instead of executing a skill, what you can do is you can write into the comments what you were procrastinating on in order to hold yourself accountable and to also give yourself a commitment, because then it's public. And yes, and also commit yourself to start executing that skill today. Because yes, I hold myself accountable with this channel, and yes, if you don't have a YouTube channel, you can use these comments. And as always, let's stop talking and let's start building our dream life.